Today, instead of the mail, I decided to do a different video, and this is going to showcase, no pun intended, these cases here. They're usually known throughout the collecting communities as Riker cases. And amazingly, I picked these up at the Goodwill bins. I looked on Amazon, and they're approximately $18 to $20 odd each. And these were purchased for glass price. They had the audacity to ask me if these were plastic, and they could charge more if they're plastic. But glass is 69 cents each, and they had some sort of tagging on the inside here for some sort of rock collection. And I just peeled off most of the stickers and flipped over the foam inside there, on the batting, whatever you want to call it. And these are very, very popular with relic collectors who collect metal detecting relics. They're also great for rocks, arrowheads, sports memorabilia of unusual sizes. And I am so glad I got these. I want to say that these all combined were probably no more than $5 for the stack of 4 of them. So what I have chosen to do, some of these items in here were in display case before, but I have since repurposed that display case for something else. But I wanted to get a lot of my unusual scouting memorabilia put away, and these are in no particular order because these will be changed around. And a lot of people like to either overload these or leave them with white spaces like I like to do. That gives me a chance to flip these around. They're not perfect because things will move around and slip if they're perfectly centered. But we'll just go through these. I'll just show you what they look like before. See, this one says man-made ruby, garnet, amethyst. So somebody had documented a collection there. Either they sold the collection or they took them out for moving and put them in a little box or whatever. And then there's another one there with some numbers, but I could flip those over or peel those off. But it was easier just to... Usually, I put my collection in pages like this. This is my 1975 binder, and all different kinds of Ultra Pro pages and photo pages of all different kinds. I had to modify each one of these, and that's very difficult. These are for currency, I believe, and so I was able to put strips down there with tape there and then put my patches in between that. And I've done that for many of those. And a lot of these will fit in here, but there's a lot of items that will not fit in any pages or any, and that's what these display cases, I think these are 12 by 16, or was it 18? I think it was 12 by 16 maybe, and that's a popular size. So we'll start off with this one here. And many of these items don't have a lot of value. There's a website called Streamwood. I think they might be in Illinois. I'm not really sure where they're located. But they have all kinds of unusual memorabilia, and that's where I got some of this stuff from. This Boys Life trading card here from the National Jamboree. I don't remember what year. It was only like a quarter for that one. And this postcard here from the World I believe it's the World Jamboree, 2001 maybe. It's been a while since maybe 2007. I just don't remember. I haven't looked at this stuff in a while. Oh yeah, 2007 right there. And I think that was probably all of $1 right there. This one I think I picked up on eBay, and I got a whole bunch of them, like 15 or 20 of those in a lot. They were dirt cheap. These are kind of cool. These are really neat, and they don't have a super lot of value. Then you can get these for between $1 and $5. I wouldn't pay $5. But this is 1981 National Scout Jamboree, A.P. Hill, Virginia, 1981. And they have chosen a 15-cent stamp and a very, very ancient Boy Scout stamp from the 1950s on there. That's really pretty neat. And this is from Saucy, the Scouts on Stamps Society International, and they're still around. That might be a spot on the case there. Yeah, it is a spot on the case. And then here's a tag that somebody didn't use from the exact same jamboree. What happens is a lot of people go to these events, kind of like the National. They get all kinds of freebies and promotional items. They throw them in a box and forget about them. And then every kid that saved all their scrapbooks or whatever, those things are around for us that didn't get to go. Here's kind of a cool belt loop there. A lot of people were jealous of that one. They also made lots of reproductions back in the 70s from earlier jamborees, so you may not know exactly what you're looking at. This belt buckle, I think I might have found it at Goodwill. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where that came from. It does not have the leather belt on it, unfortunately, but it makes for a good display. This is like a trail medal. I'm not sure when these were produced. A lot of these were done like in the 40s, 50s, on up to like the 70s or 80s, and some of them don't have very much difference. And this one's special because it's got a secondary, so somebody's hiked that trail twice. This one here is just a very common Cub Scout medallion. I don't remember what those were for, and I have two different varieties. I've got a light colored one and more of a vintage style one there. But you can see the ribbons are just the same. And I don't know if this is from the 70s or the 90s. I'm not really sure what those are from. They don't have a lot of value, but again, putting stuff in here. I have one more tray that I filled. These are pinned together with pins, so you just take out the large pin there and stick that back in there. I may not be able to get that in just now, so we'll do that afterwards. And a lot of these things, again, do not have a lot of value. Like this Cunier Lodge 145, I didn't realize how huge that badge was going to be when I got that. So I just put that in here temporarily until I can find a better page for that. This is pretty neat. This is an unofficial badge. I've not been able to find any more of those. There's a small rip on the back where somebody had it stored in their album, but this is the 13th World Jamboree Nippon 1971. That's a really cool unofficial badge there. It's pretty neat. It's one of my favorite things. Here is a large Order of the Arrow. It's probably on somebody's jacket, and probably the jacket ended up with moth holes, or maybe a blanket that had moth holes. Huge. I mean, just imagine a normal badge. This is a normal badge right there. So it's quite sizable. A lot of these things came in lot collections, so I had no rhyme or reason why some of these. Acquaintance of mine gave me that belt buckle. He must have found it at a garage sale or a Goodwill Bins type store. And these really don't have any more value other than $10. I looked at some belt buckles recently, and they were mostly $5. These are always cool because they tell you exactly what it was. The Wyoming Valley Council and the 1965 Camperall. This is what we call a neckerchief slide. It's metal with a sticker put onto that. So I think it's aluminum with a little loop on there. And these are NOAC badges. These were in the plastic bags, and I ripped them out of the plastic bags because that does not change the value. This might be a foreign pennant here. I'm not really sure what the West Lancs, probably short for Lancaster, Watakar Scout Camp. I'm not sure if that's Canadian or English. Do not know. This Baden-Powell House, London. I don't know what that was for. Some sort of promotional, and it's the same on both sides. Here's a couple other items that I do not know where I'm going to put. This is just really cool because of the 2001 Jamboree at Fort AP Hill. And this is some sort of staff badge there. Hammerstone Scout Museum exhibit. And it's a really, really neat space shuttle patch there. It just does not fit in any pages, so it might go in one of these types of displays at some point. I'm just trying to consolidate all my unusual stuff. This Washington Irving Council patch was one of the earlier ones when I started collecting Scout badges. Outside of my own council, I just put it in a plastic holder there. I think I had it on a uniform just because I thought it was kind of neat. I bought 2 or 3 of those. I may have given one of them away. And then here's another kind of a neat badge here, kind of a larger size. You can see that sometimes they won't fit in your pages just by that much because it sticks out a little bit. But that's really what I have for you. Just kind of be on the lookout for these if you happen to see them slightly used or whatever, because these cases are quite expensive. You can get obviously different sizes, but they're great for all kinds of stamp items, and the heavier the items, they tend to slip. And also you can get different depths. This is, I think, the 3/4. I think there's inch and maybe 2-inch. So if you have taller items like military shells or whatever you wanted to display there, then that might fit better for those. Let me know if you use any of these, or if you use these to display any of your cool sports memorabilia in it. Let me know what I have here. Oh, this is a belt buckle I picked up at Scout Camp. These have absolutely no value. I think I paid more for it than they cost now. I mean, obviously if you buy it from a Scout store. This had a kind of a false coin in there because the back, it fell off. And one of the Scoutmasters was so disappointed that I got the last belt buckle at the camp store. He's like, "Oh, darn you, Henry." And then here's another slide here. You just put your Scout scarf through that. This is made out of leather. So that is what I have for you today. Let me know if you know anything about any of this stuff, if you collect any of this stuff, if you want to start collecting this stuff. or if you want to get some of these, what they call Riker cases, usually for relics or displays, and butterflies, anything you want to stick in there. It's really cool, and thank you for watching.